Vijayam Ravi ma'am for teamwork, power to win.
Namaste. Welcome to all of you. Welcome to Sudhir sir, the guest of honor, all the other honorable invitees, and my own colleagues in HEMA Foundation. That was beautiful, Anita. Wonderful poem that you have recited, and most of my things in my mind you have spoken out. I'm so glad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank you for being with us, all of you. At the very outset, let me wish you all a very, very happy new year. This year has been very challenging because it is after the pandemic, we have opened up. Students have started coming to the school. Managements have started working so vigorously. Teachers have been putting their heart and soul together to work towards the betterment of kids. And it has been tough. So many learning curves have happened, and we are still proceeding, waiting in hope for a 23. And there is a Damocles sword hanging on our head, again, a worry of another pandemic. But this time, I'm so sure that we will never admit defeat. We are well prepared because there is a power to win. And the unity within us that we have seen last pandemic time, how the entire world stood together, how the entire country stood together, that is the power to win. And you know, unity is the harmony within. If there is no harmony within, if there is a disturbance within, then we can never ever act upfront. It is going to be very difficult to act when that harmony or peace of mind or tolerance or love or empathy is not there in our heart. It would be very difficult to work. Now, when we talk about this unity, like Anita mentioned about the number of students and number of schools joined together with HEMA Foundation itself is an example, very good example that she has been mentioning for unity. Because HEMA Foundation started this HEM Virtues portal in 2020 with a great intention of spreading values. The student community was so depressed during that time. The teachers were depressed. Managements did not know what to do with their kids and schools. And that was the time this concept started. And within this 2 years, 2.5 years almost, we have come across several hurdles, but still we are going ahead with the support of all of you being present there. So we are hopeful to continue this. The teachers present over there, the listeners rather, I would say, you are the torch bearers for this value. Because if this value is not there, nothing else will work. Individually, none of us will be able to do one bit of a thing. Nothing is going to work in this universe alone. So we are all together, starting from family, father, mother. That is a relation. It is a beautiful relation of a man and a woman. And then the brother and sister, the aunt, uncle, grandparents, and the whole world is a family then. Then comes your society, comes your school, the work area, the colleagues. Everywhere you can see people. So when people come together, the teams come together. When people come together, several minds come together. And that is why it is addressed as a power to win. Now, why am I doing all these things? Why am I invited even to speak on this unity, linking or integrating with values is something which we need to seriously contemplate. The reason being, there is a general degeneration of values in the community, in the society. Not that people are bad, not that the kids are bad, but then proper direction or guidelines are not there. So we adults, we teachers, parents, and all the adults in the community, society, have a responsibility to handhold our children towards the better future. If you teach the children values, I doubt very much whether they will buy it, because values can never be taught. So that way, the teachers will have to seriously integrate those values, whichever they wish to communicate, along with their subjects. And that is the reason I'm here, because we have done integrated program on values with subjects, namely science, English, and math. With all these core subjects, we have integrated values. 48 values are done. And so that we are presenting it. And today's value happens to be unity. So if I would like to say something about unity and how to link, let me pass on slowly to the subject, say science. Now, if I take science, I would like to say that, when teachers are teaching, say, for example, a science teacher is teaching about human body in biology subject. Now, human body has, starting from your brain till your toe, you have several organs, umpteen organs, including the small, the platelet count, including that, you have everything in your body, and they are all working together. Imagine, heart cannot do anything on its own without the supply of blood. And blood cannot be produced without the supply of all the other parts of the body. It cannot continue working without the cleaning up of the blood. Without the kidneys, the blood cannot be purified. Now, how does this entire body work? 24/7. The body is working. Did we ask the body to work? No. Without we knowing even, you are breathing, you don't even know. Like, the Kaushitaki Upanishad says, when you are breathing, you're not talking. When you are talking, you are not breathing. That kind of a breathing, talking, the existence itself, without us asking for any special benefit, the entire body is doing this job. So as teachers, biology teachers, when you are teaching your children the human body, how the heart works 24/7, for a split second, if the heart stops, you and me do not exist. So that powerful is the capacity of the body to work in unison with the other organs. Do we realize it? Do we ever thank our body? We don't. Therefore, the biology teachers, when you are teaching biology to the kids, the 45 minutes that you have in a class, 40 or 45 minutes that you have in your class, you take your lessons, the regular conceptual understanding of your lessons for the first 40 minutes or 41, 42 minutes even you take up. The last 3 minutes, if you teachers are able to divert the attention of the children towards how the learning of that human body itself stands as a testimony for teaching the beautiful value of unity. That would be the way you will be inculcating values into children. And this is what exactly the national education policy is also saying. They are not asking you to teach values separately. Separately, if you teach values, it doesn't hold any value that way. So if you are integrating along with all subjects, probably the learning is going to be better. Let me say how science is doing it with an example. I would say, I think it is in grade 5 or grade 6, you have a lesson on water. that water as a natural resource. The teachers, science teachers, have to teach how water is a resource. Like they will have to say from rivers, from rain, from ice, from springs, they are all natural resources for water. You have ocean also. Though it is saltish, it is a natural resource for water. And then how rain is produced, how condensation, evaporation, all these things as science, you will be teaching your children. I am not going to teach you that part of it, but I will only tell you how you can integrate the value of unity when you are teaching them water as a natural resources. The entire body consists of almost 70% of water. So the body itself, it is made of 5 elements: water, air, earth, fire, and ether. Bina water, without water, this body doesn't exist. That itself is an example for unity. All right. And your tears is water. Your blood contains water. Your plasma has water. Water as a source that is there in you. Now, in India, we have a concept when guests enter our home. We usually, once upon a time, I don't know about now, maybe during the pandemic, it was happening. When guests enter home, they wash their feet before entering home. Why did they wash their feet? Because water is a source to remove dirt and filth from all of us. Water also is a flowing entity. Intentions, good intentions. It is also, and you offer, first thing you offer when a guest comes your home is water. Atithi Devo Bhava. We consider guests as God. We offer water. The feeling, the fundamental idea behind this water, giving water, is that, we have seen when people become flustered, when they become angry, when they are about to shout, what do? Usually you give a cup of water, isn't it? What does this water do? Calm you down. So water has the power to calm you down, soothe you, and also bring you to normalcy, and also make your intentions and purpose flow. That is the beauty of water. So when you are teaching your students about water from the natural resources, there was a Jewish teacher, and he says water is a unifying factor. And what a beautiful statement that he has made, because you look at this water. From our own perspective, let us take the Indus River. It starts from the Mansarovar, the northern side of Kailash Mountains and Mansarovar. It flows down. It goes to about to give water to about 180 million of people in Pakistan. Now, there is about 18% of the world population which is struggling for water. And this water flows through, and you see the beautiful cultures of the world has all been erupted on the banks of river. The culture of a country gets created on the banks of the river. That is why this Jewish teacher was mentioning all the cultures, the unifying factors. The unifying factor is water. And so when teachers, when you are teaching the students, you could always mention, it's not necessary that you talk only science. When you talk science, you integrate social studies also along with that. How that water becomes a unifying factor of cultures. How the necessity of people being together is so very, very important for us. So this is how the value of unity you can teach to the children. So first 42 minutes, you will teach your children the science of it. You are good at that, you will do it. The remaining 3 parts, take the children on a journey of values. Give a moment of silence for them to imbibe what you are talking about. And then conclude your lesson by quoting what all science facts you told, along with the necessity of water as a unifying factor and how important unity is for them. If I am a science teacher, I will be doing this only. And tell them this fundamental thing, which is a very fundamental knowledge to you, me, everyone in this universe. We are born in water. We were a zygote floating in the womb of our mother, the placenta of the mother, that water, we were floating as an infant. We are born in water. And when we die, our ashes get mixed with water. So being born with water, end with water. When the oceans in the world die, we die. That is the unifying spirit behind learning water as a natural resource. Now let us pass on to a different subject like mathematics. Now, when we talk about mathematics, the best example I can say is the teachers, when they teach in grade 2 or grade 3, they teach addition. There are 4 operations in mathematics: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now, when we are adding, like how Anita said, with one hand, nothing happens. Another hand also comes together, it makes it 2. So addition is something which is so very important for the kids. Now, when the teachers in mathematics, to teach while you teach mathematics, what you will do usually is you will communicate the 3 value properties of addition. You have a 0 order property, or you have a commutative property, an order property, etc. Now, suppose, for example, I'm saying 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. We are teaching the kids. 3 is an independent entity, a number. It has its own identity. 4 has its own identity. But when 3 and 4 come together, the identity changes to a sum, which is called 7. Now, according to the order property or commutative property or whatever property you call of addition, even if you put 7 onto this side and 3 here and add also, nothing is going to change. The purpose is going to be the same. The sum is going to be the same. It is going to be 7. Suppose it is 3 plus 4 plus 0. Again, the sum is going to be 7. Adding a 0 to an addend is also going to be 0. In grade 4, 5 and all that, you will be learning all these properties of addition. Now, when we teach this addition, if we are, and similarly, I'll tell you this, how it is important to you. You see, our national education policy, when it came in, it brought a very, very, very significant change in the pedagogy. The pedagogy that national education policy was saying was 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So addition. And what were they talking about? 15 years of education, totally 15 years of education into segments. into segments. But what was happening after the 5 years, it goes to the next 3 years. Do you mean to say that the teachers in the next 3 years will not know what has happened in the first 5 years? No, it is a continuous property adding to what they have accumulated. These teachers will be adding further values and skills to the students. And again, when it goes to next 3, they'll be adding, etc. And the beautiful addition property, the unity, the united effort of school education is what NEP was projecting. What are the schools doing? The students, what are the teachers in classroom doing as far as addition is concerned? The student has a particular skill. He has another skill also, another skill also, another skill also. The teacher in the classroom, like a guru, she is putting all those skills, adding, giving, augmenting it, giving and igniting the skill of the children, adding to the total existence, total personality of the children. What is happening there? United effort, uniting the children. And the school managements, what are they doing? They are only interested in knowing that the kids are all going in the best direction with all the unified efforts from the teachers, from the students, and you have parents onto your fold. So unity is actually a face of a school, face of a society, face of a humanity. So addition is itself a big deal in mathematics. And that is what you teach in mathematics. So when teachers end up their lessons, as I mentioned, you can always talk to them about the mathematical operations, about all the properties of addition, and conclude it by saying that a class, in their own class, they all exist together. They all add up. We say we have 30 students in a class, 40 students in a class. Again, unity. People used to say once upon a time, India has the maximum number in population. Strength of people is quite large, they say. So that time, someone was saying, and I also felt it, as in when the number add, so much of skill is coming together. Unity is going to be there within people, with people. And so that is a strength. Unity is strength. That gives the power to win. Alone, we don't get many things. So that is what in mathematics you do. Now let's come to English. In English, I think it is in grade 4 or 5, you teach the students parts of speech. Now, today, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you in a language, in a foreign language, which is what we all understand today. I am using sentences. Now, in all these words that I am using sentences, I am making use of parts of speech. There are 8 parts of speech. You have a noun, you have a pronoun, you have a verb, adverb, adjective, conjunction, preposition, interjection. Like that, 8 parts of speech you have. In all sentences, you may not use all the parts of speech. But if I have to communicate a message to you, I need to use these things. For example, I am using a sentence. Well, I left angrily because of several insults. If that is a sentence I am using, well, I left angrily because of several insults. That's a sentence I have communicated to you that I'm not at all happy I have left. This is the meaning. But in this sentence, if you see, it's one of the rare sentences where all the 8 parts of speech is used, starting with well. Well is an interjunction. Well, like, we say, oh, wow, oh my God. These are all interjunctions. Okay. So interjunctions, you have a pronoun, you have a verb, you have an adverb, you have used several insults, adjectives, you have noun, you have everything in that. Parts of speech has the power to convey the message. Without a verb, no sentence can exist. No sentence can exist. So if one is absent, the other do not exist. So parts of speech, how do they make? United, they make meaning. A sentence gets a meaning by putting all these parts of speech together. The English teachers present over there will be able to appreciate it. So when you are teaching the parts of speech, teachers, you will have to tell them. You teach them all the 8 parts of speech with different examples and give exercises to the children. Ask the children to speak up and see, maybe you can do role plays in the class, making every child as a part of speech and removing him from the scene, whether the scene becomes comfortable, whether the sentence is comfort, giving a comfort. You will be able to teach your children a lot on unity by bringing this English lesson together, parts of speech. So as I mentioned, the last 3 or 4 minutes, you will definitely be able to do a lot of good work if you are able to teach this way. Now, remember one thing, there is always, don't ever think that this unity will always be bringing only good things. Suppose the unity is with a bad intention. If the purpose is not correct, not with the good intention of humanity, then it is no good at all. That also, as teachers, we have to instill very slowly into the minds of the children. Children are all so distressed today, disinterested. And if at all they have an interest, they have an interest only in one's own self, selfishness. So, like all the terrorists come together, that is also unity. All the terror leaders, they also are leaders because they all have a group of people following them. That is also unity, but you cannot call it as a unity for the purpose of or welfare of the humanity. So the teachers in the classrooms have to take extreme care to make sure that the purpose of uniting has to be beautifully laid down. That is why I mentioned that if there is a heart which has a commitment, which has a harmony within, then that heart will not think differently. With this value of unity, what all values come along arraying along with this value is kindness, compassion, empathy, tolerance. All these values are united with this. And that is why it is called power to win. Okay, now we are, remember, we are each other's business. We are each other's harvest. If we are divided in our interest, then the purpose will not be served. If we have no enemy within, if I have no enemy within, I will not have any enemy outside. We know how to bring people to our fold, bring all the people towards us. My very dear teachers, you're all working in very esteemed institutions which have all been started with great intentions. Give your united strength towards the fulfillment of the vision of the institutions. Include values in teaching and touch the lives of children. Thank you. God bless you all. Happy New Year.
थैंक यू सो मच अम्मा, आपने बहुत ही सिंपल वे में बहुत कुछ समझाया, और ये सही भी है कि हमारी एकता में ही बसे हैं हमारे